What does a city like Dayton do when it loses half its population and seamlessly needs to get federal money to buy and rehab vacant homes?
It's too cumbersome to go through your city council or city commission or county commission to do those activities. So they set up these separate private nonprofits to contract with that unit of government to get those housing dollars and deploy them in neighborhoods.
46 years later, County Corp is going strong and adding housing in Montgomery County, Dayton, and beyond.
We work within communities where there's infill lots, homes that have been demolished from the past, and looking to essentially rebuild or revitalize specific neighborhoods.
In the process, people are buying homes who never thought they could.
And I told him, Bob, there's no way I can afford a house. I can't afford a down payment, nothing. And he told me about the program. He's like, no, there's this program through County Corp where I know you don't make very much money. I know you can qualify to buy this house. That's why you should try to buy it.
Come along as we take a closer look at the organization and find out how it does what it does and what kind of a difference it's making.
Watching a family become homeowners who have never had anyone in their family ever own a home is another life-changing thing that we get to be involved in.
Let's get into it. This is Brick by Brick, solutions for a thriving community.
Brick by Brick is made possible thanks to leading support from Greater Cincinnati Foundation, AES Foundation, and George and Margaret McLean Foundation, with additional major support from Lori Johnston, the Robert and Adele Schiff Family Foundation, Murray and Agnes Seasongood Good Government Foundation, and more. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Brick by Brick, where we're highlighting solutions for a thriving community in Southwest Ohio. I'm your host, Ann Thompson. In this episode, we dig into the unique Montgomery County organization known as County Corp. It's a private nonprofit development corporation that often acts as a problem solver for local governments with housing issues. Adam Blake is Vice President of Housing.
Yeah, the goals are pretty simple. It's enriching the lives of the residents of Montgomery County by providing safe, decent, affordable housing.
And affordable housing was and is desperately needed. In 1980, when County Corp was formed, Dayton had lost half its population. Thousands of homes were boarded up and many of them fell into disrepair. Even today, a recent housing survey rated the exterior of every single Dayton home, showing more than 1,000 homes needed to be demolished and another 5,000 were on the brink. County Corp uses federal, state, local, and philanthropic funds to create affordable housing and turn around entire neighborhoods with the help of partners.
It doesn't make sense for us to take a dollar and invest where nothing else is going on. What we try to do is leverage any funding that we have with other successful, positive existing programs.
In this way, County Corp can be a catalyst at all economic levels, creating more than 1,000 housing units since its inception. One example is Wolf Creek, where dozens of new homes are under construction. Brick by Brick, Amico Moore reports the nonprofit and others are focusing on this West Dayton neighborhood, which has one of the highest rates of homes in poor condition.
In the heart of West Dayton, Chris Voltz finds the historical neighborhood a great place for his family of 6.
So our neighborhood is the Wright Dunbar Village, right across the river on the west side of Dayton, downtown. And it's just a great community where the Wright brothers grew up, and then Paul Lawrence Dunbar also grew up.
History is the backdrop of his surroundings. His home exterior, a replica of Neil Armstrong's childhood home, and the Wright brothers' legacy just down the street.
My son will probably have this as a fun fact. He learned to ride his bike in the parking lot of the Wright brothers bike shop. It's that's a cool thing. No one will really care probably about that stat, but it's a fun fact that you share with people.
11 years ago, Voltz, a pastor and leader of a nonprofit ministry, and his wife Grace were renters, squeezed into a 900-square-foot space when a friend recommended buying a home 3 times the size they lived in.
And I told him, Bob, there's no way I can afford a house. I can't afford a down payment, nothing. And he told me about the program. He's like, no, there's this program through County Corp where I know you don't make very much money. I know you can qualify to buy this house. That's why you should try to buy it.
With the help of County Corp, Voltz was able to become a new homeowner.
all we had to do was have $1,000 that we brought to closing to put down, and they didn't just pay the down payment for you, but they pay it and then they roll it into your mortgage payment, sort of to help you get over some of those costs.
Steve Naas is president of County Corp.
County Corp's mission, it has revised over the years, but it's really stayed true to the same ultimate goal, which is to deliver safe, decent, affordable housing in the communities that we are operating within.
Today, that investment in the Voltz family is paying off.
We are really pleased with our work there, helping first-time home buyers get into the transformational wealth opportunity that home ownership really can facilitate.
For homeowner Voltz, in just 10 years, the value of his home has shot up.
The market is definitely swung up, but I mean, our house is probably 4 times what it was when we bought it. It's the value has shot up drastically since we bought it, and the same thing is true of other houses in the neighborhood.
Using America Recovery Plan funds, County Corp is now helping spark the nearby Wolf Creek neighborhood with 4 market-rate homes. Cora Diggs with Hanna Realtors listed 2 of the 4 homes for County Corp and relies on their quality of work.
Oh, it's been wonderful. They're very good. I know I got a nice house when I walk in. I don't have to worry about does the furnace work and is the electric okay? Are the electric box updated? I don't have to worry about all that. All I have to do is just walk in and show the property, and the property will sell itself.
One of her listings is priced at $275,000, the other at $325,000, and both have tax abatements. County Corp also recently broke ground in Wolf Creek for single-family homes funded with low-income tax credits.
We're right at Broadway and West First, and this is one of the sites for Wolf Creek Homes, affordable housing development that's coming. It just started a couple weeks ago. 8 of them will be right here, and then we have the remaining 19 that'll be in the next few blocks as we make our way through the neighborhood.
The city is working to connect these historic areas to the multi-use trail network across the area.
This is a slope that is very easily navigable, equitable with other areas along the Miami River and other places where the trail network connects.
As the neighborhood continues to revitalize, Chris Voltz shares the difference County Corp has made for his family. I
am not sure how long it would have taken us to own a home if it had not been for County Corp 10 years ago. I can't know how things would have panned out, but it would definitely have been at least 5 more years. And at that point, the market had been changing, so it may never have happened for us if it had not been for County Corp. Such a blessing for our family, continues to be a blessing for our family to have been able to go through that process, and we are so grateful.
For Brick by Brick, I'm Amiko Moore.
The 4 new market-rate homes in the Wolf Creek neighborhood Amiko mentioned are now for sale and have a 15-year tax abatement. Meanwhile, a Dayton suburb to the north is getting help from County Corp. 7 years after a series of tornadoes blew through Trotwood, there's a home ownership program underway, and dozens of much-needed apartments are preparing to open. Where even now, Trotwood desperately needs affordable housing. Drive around the city and you'll see. After the tornadoes, some apartment owners decided not to rebuild. County Corp heard about it and got funding to open workforce housing. Adam Blake and I step into a new apartment complex County Corp developed and is being built. And I don't know whether you've seen any architectural drawings, but I wonder what the apartments are going to be like.
Well, they're going to be beautiful. They're all of the modern amenities that you would expect in any apartment will be featured in these. And it's exciting for us to be involved in a project where we are bringing people back to Trotwood that had to leave because they lost their housing. And those are households. So that's children that were in the schools, but those households had to move out of the city because there wasn't an apartment for them to live in. So this will help bring all of that back. In total, we have 63 units in this development, ranging from 1 to 3 bedrooms. This is one of the larger 3-bedroom units. You have a nice living room, kitchen area, and then the bedrooms and bathrooms.
Nearby, there are 2 other multifamily developments as well as a 50-unit complex for seniors built 5 years ago. And that's not all. we're looking at one of the homes that County Corp built, and there were quite a few people displaced, as we mentioned. You realized that not all of them wanted to remain renters, and there was a lot of interest in home ownership. So what did you do next?
So we began working with the disaster lists that FEMA had, and we identified all of the tenants who were displaced by the tornadoes. Realizing that those apartments were not going to get immediately rebuilt, if at all, we needed to create a home ownership program for some of those residents that would be able to obtain a mortgage.
County Corp built 19 homes in Phase 1 and so far 5 in Phase 2.
We're helping people create generational wealth through home ownership. Very often, the people that are purchasing these homes are the first person in their family ever to own a home. A lot of people, like myself, have benefited from the equity that home ownership provides. And that's exactly what we're trying to transfer here.
This home ownership program is so successful that County Corp has expanded it to Fairview and is eyeing other neighborhoods. Coming up on Brick by Brick, one of the most impactful programs for County Corp is creating change for youth.
It's very fulfilling. It was kind of I jumped in and did it and then ended up loving it.
And an update on a different project run by Cincinnati's The Port. It bought a portfolio of homes from an out-of-town investor. The effort is gradually allowing more people to become homeowners.
So the CARES portfolio, ultimately, that's a finite number of homes. What my hope is that the relationship continues.
That's ahead on Brick by Brick.
Brick by Brick is made possible thanks to the generous support of so many, including Diane and Dave Moshe, P&G, the Camden Foundation, the Stephen H. Wilder Foundation, TJ and Susie Ackerman, Patty and Fred Heldman, a donation in memory of Frank and Margaret Linhart, and more. Thank you. We couldn't do this work without you.
We all know it's going to take more than one developer, more than any one city building department to create the housing and shelter our communities desire. And that's why looking at solutions like the efforts from County Corp and other responsible developers is so important. Hi, I'm Mark Lammers, executive producer for Brick by Brick. We want to help everyone learn about the solutions happening out there, examine them, and understand the work required to scale them up. Because that's where most of us can play a role in our neighborhoods, on the solution side. If you are working toward a more thriving future in your community, we want to hear about it. We try to make giving feedback and ideas as simple as possible. There's a link in the show notes of this podcast that will take you to a short questionnaire. It will only take you a few minutes to fill out, or you can email our team directly at brickbybrick@publicmediaconnect.org. That's brickbybrick@publicmediaconnect.org. We can't wait to hear from you, but for now, back to the solutions.
Welcome back to Brick by Brick. For more than a decade, County Corp has received a government grant to help young people. With the money, it supports YouthBuild, an organization which recruits low-income young adults ages 16 to 24 who aren't in school or don't have a job. In some cases, they have a diagnosed disability and are justice involved. For this story, we went to West Dayton to see them building a house on a Habitat for Humanity site. Executive Director Jerry Farley uses the government term opportunity youth to describe program participants.
Never met a young person that didn't want a better future. But generally what these youth don't have are the opportunity or the resources to make those dreams come true. So for us, these are our YouthBuild participants in our construction program. We talk about a career in a year. So they're able to come in, we start the program in late September, and by the time they'll graduate from Liberty High School, they'll have finished the YouthBuild program. So one of the best examples of a success story is right here. Mackenzie Johns, who was a student of ours a couple of years ago, finished the program. After she graduated Liberty High School, we brought her back for 1 year to work as an assistant on site, kind of like a graduate assistant program. And she did that for a year. After that year was up, she went and got a job with Naas Construction, making about $21 or more an hour. After her first year with Naas, we had an opportunity, because we were growing so much, to hire a full-time teacher's aide for our construction instructor. We opened up the position, and one of the people that applied was Mackenzie.
She got the job and is making a difference.
So I grew up right on the east side of Dayton, so in a lot of the same neighborhoods that our students come from, and I started at Liberty because I couldn't really learn at a traditional school, and then I got introduced to the CTE programs and YouthBuild, and they saw my determination and my drive.
What drew you to the construction trade?
I've always been very into crafts and DIYs and stuff when I was younger, and I would sit there and just always be making something with my hands, and I like hands-on work.
So while we were interviewing Jerry, we saw a few women standing on the sideline, and I came to find out that they support the students in ways, housing, food. And did you get any support from them or need any support when you were a student?
Yeah, there was actually a lot of times that they would send me home with food over the weekend if they knew I was struggling in that type of way. There was a lot of times that even my first year working for them and not anymore a student, one of the ladies that was standing over there, Audrey, she actually would take me outside of the school and walk me up and down the sidewalk when I was going through hard times, just to kind of talk to me and get my thoughts out of my head and be able to get everything out. And so they support in a lot of different ways, whether it's physical or emotional.
And you probably can lend some support too to the students, since you kind of know some of the things that they are going through.
Yes, a lot of them are surprised when we sit down one-on-one and I kind of open up to them in the way that they're opening up to me, and they're surprised to hear that I came from a lot of the same backgrounds, and a lot of the things that they're going through I've been through as well, and it doesn't really register with them until you get that one-on-one time to talk with them about it.
What kind of confidence did this training give you?
It gave me a lot. I used to kind of like to hide in the background. I didn't ever like being center of attention. I didn't like talking to people. I couldn't keep eye contact with people, and kind of being thrown into it from the very start and talking to partners and everything as a student, it upped my confidence a lot. And just knowing that I knew what I was doing also helped my confidence.
The international program, with a chapter in Cincinnati and many other places, teaches confidence along with construction. Other YouthBuild fields include healthcare and manufacturing. Dayton YouthBuild Executive Director Jerry Farley says the organization is a good steward of government dollars. It helps students find jobs and supports them for a full year after graduation. Placement data is in the high 80s. The retention rate is in the low 90s. This is important because the National Center for Education Statistics says a high school dropout will cost a community more than $270,000 over the course of their lifetime.
It takes a village to really raise a child, and it takes a full team that supports these young people holistically.
There are limitations for federally supported programs, and they come down to funding. For housing, County Corp Vice President of Housing Adam Blake says organizations like his felt threatened by what was happening at a national level. However, the organization has thrived by diversifying its focus not only on the development of affordable housing, but the preservation of affordable housing. Through preservation, it has attracted a lot of grant and philanthropic dollars. Blake says the preservation part has opened doors to a lot of different funds. County Corp is continuing to lend its expertise to organizations around the state and serve as the developer in places like Akron and Athens, Ohio. We wanted to give you an update on a program we covered in our very first episode, the Care Homes Initiative run by Cincinnati's Port Authority. 4 years ago, the quasi-governmental entity bought nearly 200 homes from an out-of-town real estate company to sell as affordable housing. The houses needed a lot of work. So far, according to spokesperson Yasmin Chilton, 72 have been renovated and sold. 4 are under construction, 5 are vacant, and around 100 still have tenants. About a dozen are listed for sale, including this one in Mount Auburn.
It has the new cabinets, granite countertops, and now this is new. I haven't seen this, where the hardware in the kitchen, that's kind of fancy.
Felicia Bell is a real estate agent and the president of the Greater Cincinnati Realtist Association. Her organization tries to increase the number of Black families who own a home in Cincinnati, where the percentage is only about 34. The Realtist Association partnered with the Port to sell to interested home buyers of any race who meet the financial criteria, no more than 120% of area median income. In Hamilton County, that's around $134,000 for a family of 4.
So when you think of families that have lower incomes and home ownership seems out of reach for them, a decent, nice home like this one we're standing in, then those are the families. You have to remember those are the families the Port is helping.
What do you hope happens with this program in the future? I know there's still many more homes to fix up.
So the CARES portfolio, ultimately, that's a finite number of homes. What my hope is that the relationship continues because we know the partnership continues because we know that there are a lot of blighted properties and land in the city of Cincinnati.
Bell says there's plenty of interest. This house has 3 offers. Brick by Brick will continue to follow the Care Homes initiative. On our website at thinktv.org and cetconnect.org, you can find a link to the CARE program and more information about the Port and Dayton's County Corp. There's also a big green button where you can tell your housing story and any solutions you think we should all get behind. The team is together for the takeaways, and we welcome to the microphone Hearns Laguerre Jr.
Hello.
And Emiko Moore.
Hello.
You know, County Corp is doing so many good things, and one of them is spurring economic development.
Yeah, I like what Adam Blake was saying about not taking investment dollars and putting it into a whole bunch of separate things, but it makes more sense to take investment dollars into something that's already working. And I think about it not just only being beneficial for the residents, but being beneficial for the community as a whole. Because think about it, with the amount of money that they're investing into these communities, you have a whole bunch of people moving into these communities and they're going to shop in the local area. I think that way you build the local economy. There's exponential growth when you invest into housing. You also invest into the community.
Emiko?
Yeah, and sustainability, according to Stephen Naas, who is the president of County Corp, is the resale value of these homes. Can you get what you've paid for it or more? That just shows you that there's growth and development in the cities. I mean, it's exciting to see what's going to happen in the Wolf Creek and Wright Dunbar neighborhoods in the next 5 to 10 years as all these new housing units are being put into the area. So I'm excited to see what happens.
And this other program that County Corp has been supporting through a federal grant, YouthBuild, continues to be successful, a 90% success rate where youth are able to learn new skills and receive services while they're being certified, such as housing and healthcare.
And it's really interesting to see that they're getting real life work experience and seeing that what their education is actually doing out in the community.
Yeah, and what do they say? They say that the prefrontal cortex doesn't form until you're about 25. So you have a lot of these young people who, rehabilitate their lives by having them working on these homes. And then in turn, these young people are also investing into the community. So I think it takes a bad situation and uses it as an opportunity to get, more people to work on the homes that we need in our community to help build the housing stock. So I think it's an all-around good program. I'm looking forward to see how it develops.
Yeah, and if more communities will come on board and have organizations like this. Thanks for your thoughts, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
Coming up on the next Brick by Brick, solar farms. Cincinnati is touting success with its Highland County development, while other counties like Clark are putting on the brakes.
It's not a pro-solar or against solar. It's the farmland.
Some developers see Ohio as a test state in the future of solar and rising energy prices. That's our show. We hope you learned something and want to tell your friends and family about it. Please also rate and review our podcast. It makes it easier to find. For Amico Moore and Herzager Jr., I'm Ann Thompson. We'll be back soon with more solutions. Take care. Our show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Ann Thompson, with reporting and story editing from Herzager Jr. and Amico Moore. Our executive producer is Mark Lammers. Zach Kramer runs the lights and cameras, Derek Smith is our production specialist, and Jason Garrison is our production manager. Marketing and promotions with Mike Shea and Bridget Dillenberger. Alyssa Stephenson handles the website, and Josh Lusby and Steve Wright are our designers. Bill Dean and Andreas Kruger are the engineers for the show, and our chief content officer is Colin Shinamblo. Our music is from Universal Production Music. Brick by Brick, Solutions for a Thriving Community is a production of CET and Think TV, Southwest Ohio PBS member stations.